It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
Hey, everybody. What is up? What's going on, people? How y'all doing? It's your girl, BondyBlue. And I'm back, girl. I'm back. We got to talk about a lot of things, girl. Listen, the whole situation with Kandi and Tamar, it's a lot. And it's all feeling like a plot. That Todd had set up. Okay, shout out to Todd. You know, let me say this because I just finished watching Kandi's interview with Shannon Sharp. Right, Shannon Sharp is extremely problematic. Like I feel like he can't help but to let just just certain things like seep out in the asking of questions, and it's just so annoying. Like, oh my god. But the interview was still really good. Kandi did really well in the interview and being clear on things, and I feel like it kind of added to the commentary that I'm going to give here today about SWV and Xscape. I've also seen Kandi's speak on it, and I have also watched Don Juan's video, okay, which, you know, was a honestly long roundabout way of trying to explain to everybody the business aspect of what Kandi was talking about with the Xscape and SWV situation, them doing this show together. So, like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck, okay? When it comes to this situation with Kandi and, you know, her suggesting who gets top billing and all of that, I feel like it's a plot that Todd had set up. Like, I feel like it's a plot that you know that Todd had set up. Because what are we gonna do if we're not arguing about something? Like, what are we watching if they're not arguing about something? And I think Tamar is over there doing what needs to be done for Queen's Court and for her new song that she has out. Like, everybody's doing their job to get you interested, you know, in whatever they have going on. So you can go and watch or listen or spend money or whatever. Like, commerce, Nick. Okay? But just keep it a buck. Just off. Okay, off rip. Yes, no, yeah, he was terrible articulating that question about spouses and the wealth gap. Yeah, he really didn't understand that at all. Like the because it's like you don't even understand the dynamic between men and women when you say shit like that, because essentially Kandi still has to do a lot of protecting Todd. And when I say that, I mean, if Todd was a weak man, he would not still be with Kandi, because simply the fact that she makes more money than him, y'all act like, you know, the man can't really still love her or want to be with her. It has to be a plot that Todd has set up to come to us with the bullshit so he can be rich with Kandi. And it's just kind of like, yeah, but it's like a decade, you know, plus into this at this point. We got like extra kids now. Kandi isn't wearing a short red cockatoo, you know, anymore, even though that was the look back then. We're not going to act like it wasn't. I had that cut as well, just not in red. Okay. So I just kind of feel like, you know, a lot of people have their feelings about Kandi, and I think that kind of fuels a lot of people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, is it really that hard to understand that as a very successful woman, in order for her to have a relationship that actually works for her, she needs to be with a man that is not this rich man? Because rich men are used to people doing what they want them to do. They're not going to come together and want to join forces and listen to the partner. Not as much. They're not going to want to listen to the partner because they're going to feel like, I know better than you, so I'm not going to listen to you. In this society, even if a woman has money, she knows that she has to always keep in mind how her man is going to feel, because people are always going to have something negative to say about the fact that she makes more money than him. They're going to look at him like he's less than, which is ridiculous at the end of the day. But she knows that. So she's already ready to do a lot of protecting and posturing on his behalf because of how the world is going to see him. It is absolutely not the same. She's going to listen to what he has to say. The first thing she said on this show about her and Todd was, I let Todd take the lead when it comes to this, and this, because she had to make sure off rip she is promoting the fact that she is not just over there using her husband as a doormat. Because that's what men do to the women when the women are in that tax bracket below them. When men are providing the sole income in a household, they treat the women like you're supposed to be a maid, mattress, and mule. Shout out to Erica De Niro. Okay? That's what they treat you like. But in society, men are not to be treated that way. The community doesn't even allow you to treat men that way. So I feel like as much as everybody talks that shit, like, Kandi has to think of him in a way that most rich men are not going to think about their wives' opinion if they feel like they know better. You know what I'm saying? And when I was watching the Shannon Sharpe interview, one of the things that she said was that Todd knew things that she did not know. Go figure. The guy who's in production is going to know more about production and in producing events than a woman that simply shows up to perform at them. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? They're both going to come to the table with something to add. And that is what you're supposed to want. Like, you're supposed to want a partner. Like, men are supposed to want to be with a woman that is also going to make them better. It's not supposed to be this idea where the man is always helping the woman reach her potential. And so a lot of the conversation around Todd and Kandi's relationship is often toxic to me, and I don't like it. So when Tamar comes in with this shit, I get even more irritated. Okay? Because I feel like, people want to argue certain points, but at the end of the day, you brought Todd in it, and then you tried to make it seem like he was on some bitch shit, when really Todd was probably, I wasn't there, but based on what we know about Todd, and also what Todd has shown us on the reality show, he can keep calm in these situations. He's very direct, but he's also very calm. Kandi is usually the one that gets bucked, and then Todd has to come and hold her back. That's usually how it goes down. So when Tamar decided to put out this story, and we're going to get into the specifics after I finish the review, but it's just on my spirit right now to speak on the fact that I really find it toxic that people continue to try to come at him like he's less of a man simply for loving Kandi and being with her and having an empire. Because that's what they have with all of the restaurants, the real estate, the businesses, the kids, the households. That's what you're supposed to want. So I'm very confused about why everybody, you know what I'm saying? Why everybody, is upset about the way their life looks. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? With that being said, we're going to get into the review, girl. And I'm going to take this blow by blow. All right? There's 500 people in the room. Some messy shit going on my street. I don't know what's going on, but a dude chased the car. Now the car's sitting outside my house rattling. The dogs are barking. Someone slides her on the curb. And there, two young women looking at the car with confusion. And the young man has on a bonnet that matches his sweatshirt. I don't know what's going on outside I don't know what's going on outside my window. I just know they're making the dog across the street bark. And I really want them to like get in this vehicle and go back down the street to their house, or get from in front of my window with the rattling that's going on in this car. My God, it's so distracting. Waiting on y'all to like the video some more. giving you a blow by blow of what's going on outside my window. Like my video. Oh my God. It's like, oh, and now we're like dancing and stuff. Like, girl, I do not know what is going on. I'm waiting on you guys to like the video some more. It's almost 600 of y'all in here. I feel like we can get to 300 and then I can start the video. Like, for real, the notes. Okay, someone's getting back behind the wheel. Thank you for the super chat, princess. Side note, Bondi, you look good, girl. As always. Ooh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I am feeling good on the inside, and so I hope that is what is being projected on the outside. Hey, Tina, thank you for the super chat, love. Ignoring my students to stop by and say, hey, Bondi and fam, life has been lifing, but I love and miss y'all. I'm saying, I feel like it's been a minute and I don't appreciate it. Is this girl eating noodles right now? They're really like eating noodles out, like with the rattling car outside the window. Like, push this fucking car back down the street, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, look, somebody coming to help, but it's just, oh my God. Okay, so let's get into the video, y'all. It's just so distracting. They're like literally right in my eyesight. It's crazy. All right. Girl, listen, not twerking by the hoop. That's what it's giving. Like, I feel like she went into a little like bitch, not a girl. What? No, they not making a TikTok, but no, something wrong with the call. Okay, they finally turned it off. Okay, now I can go back to talking. Okay. Let me see. Todd didn't come in their relationship with penis and sperm. Him was actually right. Like, homeboy came in with an expertise. Okay, while we're waiting, how was hot yoga yesterday? Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good, y'all. Oh my God, there are like 900 people in here. That was a quick jump. Can I get some more likes? 300, but we're getting into it. Okay. And I'm about to get into it, y'all. Please don't be mad at me, but I have to, y'all ask me, so I have to tell y'all. So there's this like one move that you do in yoga. Hold up. There's this one move you do in yoga. You have to like pick one leg up and you stretch it out, right? And then, you have to like hold that, right? That's really hard. And it took me a lot of like tries to do it. And this was Lyric's third hot yoga class. And he actually stuck it. Like, you always fall out of it. Like, even if you do it a lot, you fall out of it. And he stuck it, and I was so proud. I was like, look at him. This motherfucker look like he about to get real limber around here. I'm excited. So that happened. And then I did this one move that's really hard when you're on just your toes. Like you cross. And you go down on the ground and like you come up or whatever, but you have to stick it like on your toes like this, and it's hard. It's so hard, and I've never stuck it. And that was the first time I was able to lift both hands up and actually hold it for a second. But no, like seeing him like in the high yoga class, like it's a whole thing for me. I get so much gratification out of it. I can't even explain it. Standing head to knee is no joke. It's not like and I love it because like I feel like it's helping him with his like back pain and stuff. So like, yeah, it was really, really nice. I enjoy it. Okay, so now I drop down to 700 people. I don't know what's going on with the numbers, but I'm about to get into it. Okay. So Taj and Tasha go to the hip hop museum. That was real cute. Tasha's mad fake. Destiny's Child were SWV super fans. Used to go to their hotel and they would bring them to books, signings and all kind of stuff like that. I thought that was dope. I had no idea about that. I do remember back in the day when Whitney Houston had that show. Her and Bobby Brown had being Bobby Brown. And I think they went to like a Destiny's Child concert. Like, I just remember everybody being so like connected back then as far as the music is concerned. And so this made me think about that. Like, I love that. Like, I don't know why, but I loved hearing that. Coco meets with her friends. And that's also a sign like that you can't treat everybody like shit. Like, don't be out here treating everybody like shit, because you never know who you may be opening for in 10 years. Okay, I'm just saying, okay? So yes, okay, Coco meets with her friends. She discusses her bipolar disorder. Okay, so I was really surprised. Coco explains that she was going through a really hard time and she was thinking about murdering somebody, and this is when she decided to go and get help. And I was like, thank God, Coco. Oh my God, girl. We so glad you didn't do that. And who was it? But outside of that, I feel like we knew something was wrong with Coco back in the day, because back when they had the reality show originally, Coco used to be on one. And yeah, sometimes that's ego, but then other times there's some other shit going on, specifically with black people, because we don't get diagnosed for things the way, other ethnicities of people may have access to this type of healthcare. They're going to send somebody to a hospital to find out, and they'll care more. So they'll dig more. They'll try to figure out what's going on with that person. So they'll figure out this person has bipolar disorder, or, however they called it. But yeah, I feel like that's so good that she went and got help with that, because she does seem way happier. Like, watching Coco on camera is a joy to me. Like, and it's crazy because I can remember being so aggravated with her personality on the previous reality show that they had. But when she said she may be 52, but this pussy is 21, I said, bitch. I said, you know what? You better say that shit. You better say that shit, okay? I enjoyed her. And I've been enjoying her since she came on. Okay, Tamika cooks for her mama. So Miss Gloria comes over there. Okay, she comes over there. How you doing, Tamika? Okay, and they sit down to talk. And Tamika basically tells her mom that you play favorites. How did I play favorites? Well, you let Tasha express herself, but you don't let me express myself. Well, when Tasha expresses herself, she doesn't disrespect me. Okay? And I feel like you were never disrespected. And then the mom starts going in on Tamika, and Tamika just spaces out. And it was really kind of like heartbreaking to watch. When I really watched the look on Tamika's face, I wanted to cry for her, because I know what it is when you feel like you have to be respectful to your parents, and really what they're asking of you is for you to be a punching bag for them and to allow it to happen. And because you love them, you allow them to beat up on you emotionally, verbally, physically, whatever, but you allow them because you love them, and they know that, and they're taking advantage of that. See, the thing that people don't understand is that a lot of times people only get power where they get power. And sometimes for parents, the only place that they have power is in the dynamic between them and their children, which is why they always want to keep this very, childlike, relationship with their children as their children become adults. They still want you to communicate with them as if you're 12 years old and you getting slick with your mom. Like, they really don't know how to back away once you become an adult so that they can see you as an adult. And I feel like it's really, yes, triggering. It's very triggering to watch somebody just like have to remove themselves from their body in the moment because their mother is like verbally abusing them, going off about shit that is, first of all, delusional, and second of all, that don't have nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that. And this is what I was talking about, and of course, Tamika's mama is older, but that old mindset that once you get to a certain age, you don't have to learn anything else, and you can just keep recycling the same delusional shit in your mind over and over again, and you never have to resolve it. You never have to come to the truth of the situation, but you can just keep acting out as such. And it should be allowed? No. Y'all really don't like the fact that now we don't have these family dynamics where people are constantly forced to deal with family members that abuse them. Y'all also don't like calling shit abuse when it is abuse. What was going on between Tamika and her mama in that moment was absolute verbal and emotional abuse. That lady unloaded a clip on her daughter. I am the 5th member of Xscape. You're not. It doesn't matter. which you did. You're not the fifth member of Xscape, and you arguing that point shows the delusion that's taking place. That's delusional for you to feel that way. You can feel like you supported your daughters. But at the end of the day, that's what you were supposed to do as their mother, no matter what they did. You could have put a microphone in their hand and they still could have went and did something else. So what? That attitude that they owe you something because you did what you were supposed to do, that's not godlike. That's not godlike. You were supposed to take care of your daughters. You were supposed to encourage them. And I understand you real mad about what they dad did. That's not their fault. And this is why I tell y'all all the time, I don't think it's smart for women not to have their own. Because she was a housewife when y'all thought that that's what women should do, be housewives. And what did her husband decide to do one day? Up and leave. And because she didn't, have probably the wherewithal at the beginning to be able to take care of herself to the level that she was used to being taken care of, she completely formed a resentment towards her kids, towards that man, and in some ways towards herself, simply because she chose to give up her autonomy in exchange for somebody paying her way in life. I'm sorry, y'all. That's what it is. It low-key be feeling like slavery, and I don't know why a lot of y'all, don't see like the long-term bad effects of this. Like, this is what we're talking about. This is why it doesn't make sense for a woman to have nothing to herself in relationships and in marriages. Because to this day, if a man decides to up and leave you, or if you don't want to be with him anymore, what you gonna do? You up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. That's why the girls of the next generation and so on are not trying to depend on anybody, because we saw these things happening. And now Tamika and Tasha's relationship really is where it is, probably because of the way the mom felt from that instance, the divorce and having to fend for herself and her kids. She probably only felt that she had power in their dynamic, and probably in the moments of being her lower self. And you are normally and often your lower self around your children, because those are the people that are always with you, that always need you. Those are the people that if you don't make it, they don't make it. And some people, some parents, take that out on their kids. They allow the fact that they feel powerful in these moments where they can assert and dominate their kids. These moments make them feel good. And so they do them all the time. And it doesn't matter that it damages the relationship with the daughter. It doesn't matter, because essentially you're the mother. So you're going to always be able to throw out that line, you only got one mama. I tell y'all, I don't care who you are. I will see you next lifetime. Okay? No hard feelings. I'm not about to do this with nobody. Okay? And I feel like the way Tamika's mom, the way Miss Gloria went in on Tamika, oh, I kept it together when your daddy left us and I am ma'am, you need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy, because you are literally sitting there unloading a clip on your daughter that is literally not her fault. You had her. And that may not have been the life you wanted. And that's another reason why I don't feel like every woman should be a mother. I don't feel like every woman needs to be a wife. That's not everybody's lot in life. It's not. And it shouldn't be expected. It shouldn't. If it wasn't expected, maybe she would have done something different with her life and she would be a little bit happier now. But because she felt like she was supposed to marry a man and have children and settle down at like 20, 21 years old, because that is what was taught to her, she does these things and finds out it's not as fulfilling. And now she's like has to latch on to what her daughters did for themselves, because she couldn't do it for herself. So yeah, the shit with the mom is hella deep. You could tell that mom has a lot of resentment about the life that she chose to lead. It probably conflicted with who she was at the time. And that's why she has a lot of resentment. That's why I tell people, you got to do what makes you happy. And you have to really focus on what makes you happy. Not everybody around you, not society, not your family, because it's only you that's going to be here at 60 years old, still pissed off about decisions that you shoulda, coulda, woulda made when you was 20, 30. Nobody likes to think that far down the line when they're making these decisions. You know, I don't know what y'all be thinking about, but y'all got to pay attention to the way y'all grandmamas and them was pissed. I had an angry grandmother as well. I love my grandmother, and she took great care of me. I am the person I am partially because of who she was. But essentially, she was mean. And I have to wonder why. Why were you mean? Is it because you felt like you needed to be a housewife and you were a housewife for somebody that didn't afford you a lot? You had a lot of kids and you had a somewhat of a easy, but at the same time, you feel like you should have had a better life than you had? Like, they was mad. They was angry when they was like, listen, I don't know about how many of y'all, but me and grandmother, and one that was dissociative. You know what I'm saying? Separate herself from her feelings or go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I experience women, you know what I'm saying, in these roles. And you could tell that these roles that they played in these relationships had long-term effects on how happy they were by the time they got to the end of their lives where I showed up. Okay? So I showed up with my grandmothers, you know what I'm saying, close to the end of their lives. The last 20 years, 10 years of their lives. So I got to see people being resentful, people being mad, people not really being happy with doing what society wanted them to do versus what they might have really wanted to do for themselves. And so my mama made different decisions. You know what I'm saying? Not that different, but different. And so I'll make even more different decisions for myself. Still have a husband, still would love a family, have a house, all of that. But I'm going to make different decisions. Like, my decision is going to be a little bit more catered to me. Okay? So, like, I don't have to, not understand or not be happy in my later years and shit, being resentful. My mom looks real happy most of the time. I'm going to just tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? And she definitely still held on to what was important to her and what she wanted to do for herself. And that was a great lesson to me. Okay? I view men who disparage women for having financial security on their own as predators, and I don't care what they say. I agree. I agree. I feel like I had some super chats in here while I was on my soapbox. I'm sorry, y'all, but y'all know when the spirit moved me, I got to roll with it. And I really, and I feel like that was like the deep issue here. I feel like, with the mom. And really where all of that is coming from. Not that she doesn't love her daughters. Like, and that's the thing I feel like a lot of people don't understand. When you want to call them out about a behavior or something that they're doing, it's not so we can play the blame game. It's so that you can recognize you're doing it so that you can stop doing it. Or you can go and fix, what's causing it. But y'all know older people, they really be needing to talk out shit that didn't happen in their lives and they feel like it's too late and they don't want to. So they rather hold on to the anger and the resentment until they die. They just rather do that. And I've really hurt for Tamika because when her mom hugged her mom only hugged her and told her that she loved her because Tamika was about to withdraw. So if Tamika withdraws from you, where are you going to get your fix from? And I'm telling y'all, she gets good feelings off of what she's able to do to Tamika. So if Tamika removes herself and says, I'm going to back away, then no, her mama like, no. I don't want you to do that. I love you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. She didn't say she was sorry, but the demeanor was, I'm always going to take up for you. I love you. And it's because she needs to have somebody in her life that she could exert her power over. And there aren't many people probably left that she can do that with and to as an older woman. So the hug and all of that, as much as I feel like it was needed for Tamika, it was not, yes, narcissistic supply. Come on, y'all know what I'm saying. I don't have the language just yet, but I'm going to get it. Okay, that's why I'm about to go back to school now. Okay, we're going to get this language together, but y'all feel what I'm saying, okay? So yeah, I thought that was just like a real heartbreaking moment. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Make sure y'all like the video, okay? So Kandi and Taj catch up because when Taj met up with Tasha at the Hip Hop Museum in Nashville, is it the Hip Hop Museum or is it the child? I couldn't tell, but I know it was Buku Hip Hop. Okay, it was black people. I saw Beyonce and them. I saw a couple of other groups. You know what I'm saying? It was the Naughty by Nature and all of that. Anyway. Sorry, y'all. So yeah, Kandi and Taj catch up after everybody gets back from Africa. Taj tells her that Tasha told her that she's shopping a new deal and she had a meeting with Motown to do a gospel album. And at this point, none of the other members of Xscape know about this. And Kandi goes on to explain that this is exactly what Tasha did last time. So this is based on what Kandi said, okay? What I surmise from all of the many interviews and things I've seen about them talking about the story. First of all, Kandi never dated JD's daddy. She dated JD. And her and JD started dating after the first 2 albums came out. So their dating, you know what I'm saying, in that little time frame happened after Kandi had already sang "Every Man Wants a Woman when him and her can just go hang." Okay, she'd already done that. Just the two of them alone, kick back, doing their own thing, doing their own thing, yeah. Okay, always keep them in the mood. And I'm that kind of girl, so this is what I tell my dude. I tell him to. First of all, singing that fucking deep is hard. Y'all gonna stop playing with Kandi when it comes to this singing thing. And I already said it in my video yesterday, and I will say it again. Anybody that knows how to technically sing that says that Kandi can't sing, they're a hater. They're a hater and they're a liar. You may not like her voice. It may not be a voice that you particularly like. I could tell y'all, I don't particularly like Kim's voice. No, Bert, you're wrong, babe. I hate. I know his songs because they play him for dear God on all of the R&B stations. Cannot stand his voice. Jaheim, okay? Just in case I don't make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time. I can't stand his voice. And I normally like raspy voices. But I can remember that when Jaheim first came out, so did Tank. And it was like a competition between Tank and Jaheim. And I just kind of feel like Tank was kicking his ass, especially when Slowly came out. So I just never really liked Jaheim's voice. I don't like What's the man? The light-skinned man with the light eyes that sang Motown. Okay? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Real famous. I'm spacing on the name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Light eyes. Okay? I don't like his voice. He has a heavy vibrato. When D'Angelo remade his song Cruising, it was the best thing that they could have ever did for that song because his vibrato on Cruising is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Okay? Does that mean that that man doesn't deserve all the accolades, okay, that he has? No. That does not mean that. Smokey Robinson, thank you. I cannot stand Smokey Robinson's vibrato, bitch. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Does that change the fact that he is one of the most influential black men in music history? No. No, it doesn't. And do I still sing some of his songs when he was with the Impressions? Yes. By God, yes, I do. I believe it was Smokey Robinson and Impressions, right? I think so. Child, I can't remember. They always be with a group and then they break off and do their own thing. Okay? So I'm going to say it again. Unless you can really sing, I'm going to need for y'all to stop with the Kandi can't sing bullshit. I'm really going to need for y'all to stop with that. Because yet again, every man wants a woman. Y'all play that shit all the time because of Kaya ignorant ass. At the end of the day, that is a very deep vocal range. Kandi also does the high note in understanding, correct? Which is whistle register. I would like to know how many octaves her range is. Because you may not like her voice, but it doesn't change the fact that it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And Kandi still sings all of the songs that were number ones and went platinum on the radio. She still sings all of those songs the same way today. And let's be very clear. Understanding is not understanding without that high note. When the girls went off and they were performing it without Kandi and they was doing it without the high note, because I don't think anybody else could do whistle register, even though everybody else has beautiful voices. Y'all love their voices, but they can't do whistle register. I've never heard them do it. I'm just saying, as somebody that's been classically trained, that knows how hard it is to sing from your motherfucking diaphragm, that knows how hard it is to get into head voice here and into hit whistle register and then still keep that's not easy. And everybody can't do that. So yeah, I don't appreciate the way y'all been online going in on my girl like that. And y'all could call me a Kandi fan, stan, whatever y'all want to call me, but I'm coming from a technical standpoint with this shit I'm talking about. So you can feel however the fuck you want to feel. But like I said, if you have not been trained, if you can't really sing, then please chill out. You just don't like her voice. Doesn't mean she can't sing. And it doesn't mean the engineers and the people she was working with in the music industry could not hear the value in her voice, which is why she sung so many of their hits. And y'all are entitled to not like her voice. But I can't stand when people try to like discredit somebody because you don't like them. Like, especially after y'all really be out here. What I need from you is understand. Y'all really be out here singing people's songs and shit, talking about they can't sing. And you can't even sing the song. Girl, I would be sensitive about it. I'm going to defend her like I would want somebody to defend me about this singing shit. That shit is hard. And people just be talking out the side of their neck. Now, Kandi was basically saying, I did not hunch anybody to get anything. And anybody I hunched is because I wanted to hunch them, okay? But I didn't hunch JD's daddy, okay? That was just some nasty shit that Tamika put on that radio shit that she did, going off on Tasha's behalf, okay? But still in all, the group broke up originally because Tasha wanted to go solo, which left everybody hanging in a bag, okay? It caught everybody waiting on Tasha in order to get their next check, basically. During this time when they working on the third album, Tasha's supposed to be working on her solo album. Kandi and Tiny start working on their like writing credits and writing songs, and they were working on music, and that's when they did No Scrubs, okay? Around that time. So Tasha was doing her own thing. Kandi was doing her own thing. Tasha's solo career did not kick off the way it was supposed to. Somebody need to call JD and ask him about that, because Jermaine Dupri is the person that was in charge of her label. Now, everybody keeps acting like Tasha is bullying people, right? Right, Jason Lee? Like, I can't believe he's talking about somebody's bullying somebody. Like, seriously, Jason? You're just mad that she won't do an interview with you. Like, you're just mad she won't do an interview with you. Like, you're not getting bullied because somebody doesn't want to lend their likeness to your platform. Like, that's her prerogative. Like, get over it. I think people are bandwagon jumping, personally. But you know, like I said, we'll get to the Tamar thing at the end. But Kandi explained the situation with Xscape and how Tasha does this. You want to go solo, you do underhanded shit, meaning you don't tell the group members, because you want to keep them waiting on you in case your solo career doesn't pop off. That's what she did, and that's what she was trying to do to them. She also was trying to sun them. All of them agreed that during that time period, she was on some, real, well, I'm not gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm going solo, so we gonna do it how I want to do it because I'm the lead singer type shit. Kandi is probably the most vocal and the one that's going to say something. So she's the one that's going to take the hit. That's the way it usually happens. Okay. Um, Kandi pissed folk off one time, then look. I'm telling you, like, this shit is crazy to me. How it's just been like candy on social media for the past 2 days, and it is crazy because she hasn't even really said anything. She can, and honestly, her people are the best. I'm not even gonna lie, her people are the absolute best. Because when Tamar was still talking today, I was like, yeah, them telling her not to respond was probably the best move. And that's why, like, but yeah, that's probably the best move. But Candy Girl, if you want to tell somebody and you want them to tell and you don't want them to say that they got it from you, call me. So yeah. Kandi said she did the same thing. Taj also spoke on how Coco did the same thing with them. The difference between Xscape and SWV is that, in essence, Xscape had several different lead singers on several different songs. But Coco's voice is the SWV sound. And we've seen that Tasha's voice can really be replicated by Tamika because they've been doing their shows. And can you tell all the time? Or doesn't it sound like, because sometimes their voices really did sound a lot alike back in the day. So I just kind of feel like they don't even really need Tasha. They they didn't really need Tasha back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she wanted to do her own thing and she didn't want to also do the group thing. Like, we all wanted to be the 4 members. But if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to do it. Like, we can just do 3 people. I mean, Destiny's Child did it, bitch. Okay, we went down from 4 members to 3. And let's not forget, y'all put out a whole album without Kandi. I mean, child, whatever. Anyway, Lily. Okay, so let's get to this conversation about Lily. I already knew, y'all. I'm a huge Lily. I love Lily. Just be very clear, okay? Lily was struggling a lot before SWV got back together. So I understand her viewpoint of getting to the money and not trying to go back to working, down to the state job. Everybody talking about, oh, girl, your song on the radio. Bitch, shut up. I know, I can hear the fuck. Like, would it make you feel better? My song's still on the radio. Like, it don't matter where I'm working at now. Y'all still hear this song, don't y'all? Okay, you still singing my songs at all y'all little parties and shit. Like, it don't really matter that I work here now, okay? But Lily done got her footing back since SWV has been doing 150 shows a year. Okay, just to be clear. They back to getting their money on that tour shit. But Lily has, and I had to DM her and ask her when it was coming out, because I'm like, when is it coming out, girl? I need to know. Okay, she has audio books coming out called Sister Hot Pussy, like erotica. And I am excited because that was one of the things, like, Lily was always very vocal about when they did the first reality show, was how much, she got it in and had her fun and her good time, girl. Okay. And Sister Hot Pussy is definitely sounding like the great business venture that you need, girl. Because I don't want you to ever have to go back to broke. Okay. I don't want you to ever have to go back to that, because she talked about living in her car. You know what I'm saying? And just how hard that was for her. And so now that, y'all are touring again, I absolutely hope that everything else that you have going on can sustain you as well, so that, y'all don't keep having to do 150 shows a year, because that's a lot of shows. And I would be tired too. Okay. And plus, who knows? Somebody might get sciatica, child. You never know what could happen. Y'all getting old. I just want to make sure that, y'all straight. Okay, so I want y'all to, hey, everybody won't have beef, but y'all better be talking to Kandi about these business ventures and how to make sure this shit stick. Okay, listen, get your investments, girl. Buy a apartment building if you can. Okay, buy something that you could rent out. Okay, but I just want y'all to make sure that y'all are right, because I don't like hearing that. I just don't. But her son, we gotta talk about this situation with the son getting it out the mud. Yeah, no, I don't agree that he should have to get it out the mud, but I also don't feel like he is really getting it out the mud. I feel like what she means is he needs to go and make those connections and shit for himself, which I don't feel like he really should have to, but I also feel like there's only so much that she can do. She's already gotten him on several reality shows. He's been on this one, he's been on the other one that they were on, and he also was on Growing Up Hip Hop at some point. So Lily is doing her part to get her son on. But I feel like only if you know or, follow them would you know that. So I feel like a part of this conversation, again, probably comes from a bit of aggravation for both of them that he's not, kicking off as much as he would want to. Sometimes it's not really about, who you know all the time. Sometimes it's really not about that. So at the end of the day, it felt like a scheme that Todd has set up. And when I say that, y'all, that just really means I feel like they have to create conflict on the show. Like, that's what I think that means. Okay, Shell, thank you for the super chat. Lily and Coco was over it when they went to the bathroom. Oh yeah, Shell, they was, and we're gonna get into that. Okay. Child, Gerald Levert was everybody, man, back in the day, girl. Like, y'all want to talk about no, because Gerald Levert, he was with Kandi, but he was also with like Mickey Howard for years. Like, child, don't even get me started with Gerald Levert. Okay, but I get it. Like, so child, no, I remember because what that was 06, 07 when Gerald Levert died. I'll never forget because I was on Clark Atlanta campus crying. So no, I mean, baby, hold on to me. Don't make me do it. That's my song. Cause see, I'm a special kind. Man, that is hard to find. Told you 1,000 times. Baby, hold on to me. You better hold on. Better think before you walk out the door, baby. Don't make me do it, y'all. Oh. Okay. Tasha was in the studio. Rocky is always doing too much to me. And I feel like Tasha can agree that Rocky be doing too much. Okay? But either way, he comes in there and he got to give us an anime reference. Okay? Anime, you going to sing the song, huh? I'm going to sing the song. Okay, so let's discuss that. First of all, y'all, What's Love Got to Do With It is one of my favorite movies. If you have not checked out my Now That We're Grown series where I talk about several old movies that are my faves and some of yours, please check it out. There's a playlist in my playlist, okay? Check it out. But yeah, you can simply search BondyBlue Now That We're Grown and it'll come up, okay? It's one of my favorite things to do on my channel, okay? I know y'all. I owe y'all one. It's coming. I'm going to do Jason's lyric next. Leave me alone, okay? But whenever people utilize a domestic violence, like narrative like that, like me and my husband have, so you're gonna leave me like all them other suckers I done made famous. Like, I literally texted this nigga that like a few days ago. Okay, it was a serious situation. It was not supposed to be funny. We're fine, but it doesn't matter. Like, understand, like, I get using those references being funny, you know what I'm saying? But whenever people are like actually looking abusive, financially abusive, mentally abusive, however else, whenever they are showcasing those characteristics of being controlling over a woman and they decide to use references like that, I feel like you're trying to make a joke, but you're serious. Please do the inkwell. Didn't I already do the inkwell? Didn't I already do the inkwell? I think I already did the inkwell. That's why you have to check out the playlist. Okay, y'all gotta check out the playlist and see what I already did. I did Waiting to Exhale. I did Boomerang. I did Baby Boy. Y'all should go check that out. But yeah, whenever they do that, I feel like you're telling on yourself, but you think you're deflecting. So when he did that shit, it also like reminded me of, Love and Marriage DC, where the Tylers like to do the same thing. They like to make fun of the whole domestic violence situation, but yet we have scenes with Jamie grabbing Arena's face and you know what I'm saying? Like, just doing shit that we know feels like, yeah, he's barely controlling himself because the cameras are there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that, because I feel like often you think you're being funny, but we can tell that you're being honest. Like, right, Rocky was seriously joking. Exactly. Yeah, no, it wasn't funny to me either. So yeah, right, right, like yeah, eat the cake and it wasn't harmful to me. It was a play on words. It was also in a song and not in like conversation with a person that they're actually doing this to. Like Rocky in essence is absolutely using Tasha in her career to push his career. That's what he's doing. His career at this moment is predicated on hers. So if that is something that you're already doing to make those types of references, when you got to whisper in her ear and tell her what to say, when her group members are saying she can't make a decision without talking to you first, as if you have a real part in their group, yeah, all of that feels very wrong to me and toxic. And Tasha seems very vacant. Tasha also seems very unhappy. Um, they don't even show us a lot of Tasha and Rocky, and I feel like they do that on purpose, because I feel like even in the small moments we've seen between Tasha and Rocky, he always says or does something that is telling to me. And it's not like I'm trying to be hypercritical of him, but when you keep showcasing like these certain behaviors, what else am I supposed to think? Okay? Right. Why y'all think Tina don't want to be around y'all now? Always making jokes about what she went through. Right. Tasha is brainwashed. Yes. That's what it looks like. She goes dead in the face, and all of a sudden now you can't speak up for yourself. And that's honestly, that's probably what's done your career a disservice. There are so many women who have men speaking for them in their business, and other men don't want to deal with your husband and the dick swinging competition he's having by himself when I'm trying to get this business done. That's a lot of times what it feels like. Men who think they know more than they know, trying to come and assert themselves in their wife's business so that they can feel like they're the big man. Like that's what it feels like to me. Yes, it is just. And the mom probably tells Tasha, she's probably one of those moms that tells Tasha to do whatever she got to do to keep that man. That's a good man, Savannah girl, simply because he stays. Not realizing the difference between Tasha's husband staying, being a financial benefit to him, versus your ex-husband leaving you being financial benefit to him. I'm just saying, it's different. But you see it the same because that's how a lot of older women understand these things. He left me. But see, if you keep a man, ooh, that's a good thing, Savannah girl, to keep a man. It don't matter if he's using you. It don't matter if he's isolating you and destroying your relationships and business and filling your head up with more delusion so that you're not handling yourself appropriately out in this world. I also heard that he's the one that helped her lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that that's a bad thing, but it's something about it that feels like I'm going to make sure that she feels that I'm responsible for all of the good things that she has and she's done in her life. I'm going to make sure she feels that way, because if she feels that way, she's going to always put me first whenever she makes a decision. And the truth of the matter is, she should not be putting him first whenever she makes a decision. She should be putting herself first. Thank you, Paige Booker, for the super chat. Does it feel to anyone else Rocky is using R. Kelly tactics on Tasha? I mean, he was Robert's manager at some point. I think the last time he managed somebody that wasn't Latasha, it was R. Kelly. Thank you so much, Paige, for the super chat. Girl. And like more often than not, that's probably the truth. More often than not, it's the same mindset being used, because the people that were around Robert allowed Robert to wreak havoc. And it's because they have the same type of mindset and ideals. Okay. So y'all, Coco's son is so cute. Okay. And he wants to sing instead of going back to dentistry school. He's already finished 1 year. He did really well. And now he's saying he doesn't want to go back because he wants to focus on music. And I agree with Coco. I think that he is just being, and I hate to say it like this because you're gonna like, if he was watching this, he would feel like, y'all always want to tell somebody, like when you're a kid, you really feel like people are just trying to tell you what they think is best, but what's best for you. But really, your emotions are clouding your judgment. The truth of the matter is, the music industry is extremely finicky. And even though you have a beautiful voice, you have Coco as a mom, you could still put out music and it still may not hit. And then 10 years later, after you've been trying and trying and trying and you haven't had the success you wanted, you're going to be resentful. And you're going to be trying to figure out what to do next. So that's why, while you're already in dentistry school, you've already finished 1 year, just finish it and graduate. Still work on the music, but just finish it so that you have it to fall back on. And not so that you can go and be a dentist, but so that you can open up several Black dental clinics around, wherever y'all live. That's a way to make money and still do what you want to do. The thing about getting older is you realize that everything is at your disposal. Everything is something you could use. I'm a testament to that. I went to school at first for theater because I thought I was going to be an actress. That's what I always wanted to do. Okay? So I go to Clark, and I'm doing the plays, and I'm like, one person removed from Tyler Perry, and I feel like this is going to happen for me. And what happens? My dad gets sick, and I got to come back down here against my will. So now I got to go to LSU. Like I'm going to do any real fucking acting in Louisiana. Against my will, though. Because I wouldn't have had any help. I needed the help because I was struggling my freshman year and I had to work a job in order to make sure I had food all the time, because they think because you paying for the cafeteria food, you be hungry after, and then on the weekends the hours aren't like, I don't want to, that shit not even that good. I come from New Orleans. I got a palate. I need to go to the grocery store. Like I didn't want to go and eat at the school. I wanted to go to the store and buy stuff to cook. Like that, you know what I'm saying? So like I can remember how frustrated financially I was and how I could not give up not having his aid. And plus, once I found out he was sick, it was like, well, fuck, now I have to stay. Because if not, what if he dies and I don't get a chance to be with him, be around him when it happens. So I stayed and I went to LSU, where I knew I wasn't going to be able to get my foot in the door the way I was in Atlanta. So I pivoted. I went into technical. I was like, well, let me get into film in some type of technical way. They didn't have that at LSU, so I transferred to UNO. And then I got my degree, my bachelor's in mass communications with a concentration on television and film. I got an internship with a production company, and then I got a job at the news station in editing. And after editing for 5 years, I became a photographer. They put a cap on how much money you can make, and I ain't the type of bitch you gonna put a cap on. So what we do? We got into YouTube. YouTube became a way to make money. This is social media. It's brand new. It's hard as fuck, but it's popping, and I'm on it, and I'm in it. It's my thing, and I'm still doing it to this day. But now what am I about to do? Because I feel like they capping me on here, and you can't cap a bitch like me. So now I'm about to go back to school and see if I can get my master's and then later my doctorate in therapy and counseling. You got to keep pivoting. So that'll be what? 3 careers. If I finish this the way I plan on it, God see it through, that's going to be 3 careers. And I'm only about to be 35. And I'm still doing what I want to do. I've always loved to entertain people, and I still do it. So at the end of the day, you have got to use everything at your disposal. And if you did one year of dentistry school, finish it. Because you never know when that might help you do something else. When the money from that can pay for studio time. When the money from that can pay for a tour. I'm just saying. So, I think he should do what Coco suggested. Okay? I don't think he should take a year off either. I don't think so. I'm sorry. Go through it and finish it. Be done with it. That way, you'll have it in your back pocket if you ever need it. And you also need to be thinking about opening up, a practice even if it's not you always working there. But yeah, like that would be very smart for you to do. Okay. And then all the girls meet up and Kandi tells them, once Tasha finally put her hand in to agree to do the show with Xscape and SWV in one set. Now Kandi comes out and says, when it comes to billing, who's gonna take top bill? Because we've been headlining all of our recent shows, okay? And we don't want to do a tour. And this is what Kandi was saying. They were talking about one show, but that show was supposed to be the lead up for the tour. So Kandi is already in the conversation of, we could put together a show and it can go well. We already know that because we know what everybody could do. So once we get the show done, what about the tour? And with the tour, are we going to do, billing, First of all, Xscape doesn't have a manager. So Kandi has to be the person to have the uncomfortable conversations that may make people feel a way. But when it comes down to the business, and this is what Don Juan was explaining to everybody, Kandi and Xscape and them get paid a certain amount because they fill a certain amount of seats. SWV gets paid a certain amount because they fill a certain amount of seats. So if you're comparing the two, Xscape is selling out more seats on tours than SWV. Xscape is not touring as much as SWV. So SWV might be getting paid less. Xscape might be getting paid more. In order for them to decide to co-headline, that usually means that the people that are getting paid the most are going to have to bring down how much money they normally get paid for the tour in order to even off with the other people that make less than them. So Kandi wants to have that conversation off rip because Kandi in the past has gotten screwed and had all kind of things happen. We heard about what happened with her and Boyz II Men. If y'all hadn't heard about that, child, look it up. But she talked about how they felt a way about her and have since felt a way about her because as a woman, she decided to talk about how they were going to slice up the credit on a song they were working on. And the men want to get all upset and in their feelings about it because a woman is not supposed to have these conversations with them. But it's like, well, who the fuck gonna have the conversation for me then? I'm representing myself. Who gonna have the conversation for me then if I don't advocate for myself? So if you asking Bondi if Bondi is used to getting paid a certain amount, no, I'm not lessening the amount of money that I get paid. So if the promoter wants to pay SWV what we're already getting paid, then that's another conversation. But am I going to lower the amount that I'm getting paid so that we can make this split with SWV? No. So I hope that explains it. I hope that explains it. Okay. I do understand everybody's, because I said the same thing. Come on, Kandi, that is not right. I said the same thing when I saw the post. But once Kandi explained it, I was like, okay, so Kandi's talking about the tour, not just this one show. Okay, because I believe they were already on a tour. And as everybody has explained, some, Xscape has opened for other people, like for Monica, and not really opened, but been the act before them. They've performed before New Edition, but Xscape has been headlining some of their tours, and SWV has been the set before them. And usually they do that because what happens is people get to the show late, but people get to the show to see the last act normally. So by the time we get to the last act, the most people that are going to be there are in the room. So that's why, Kandi is full of ish. Okay, so what do you feel like should happen then? What do you feel like should happen? You feel like she should take the pay, like y'all feel like Xscape should take a pay cut so that SWV can co-headline with them? Is that what y'all think should happen? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I mean, because essentially, it's not your business. It's not my business. And I think, I'm not going to discount what the millionaire is saying about her business and how she handles it. Because if there's anything she knows, what she's talking about when it comes to it is the business. And I think what she's saying is it's a precedent to be set. I'm not taking less than what we're getting paid. I'm not. And I understand that. And I'm sorry. And one show was great. And at the end of the day, they did verses for the culture. Okay? They did verses for the culture. Don't nobody got to take no damn extended pay cut for the culture. The fuck? Butterfly, thank you for the super chat. Do it, Bondy. I'm 55, just graduated with a master's in counseling, just hired as a licensed associate counselor. All right. Congratulations. That's amazing. Thank you. I am going to do it. Yeah, if it's just one show, then co-headline. I agree. And I said the same thing, but when Kandi was talking about the tour part, that's what she was talking about. She was talking about an actual tour, not just the one show. But I do feel like they could have co-headlined for the one show. I do. And I also feel like if the promoters are going to pay SWV the same amount that they pay Xscape, then that's another thing that we can discuss co-headlining. I don't think it's about who is bigger on the marquee. I feel like this is about how much money we making. Okay? So I just, let me see. If you can just randomly see an SWV show for 50, then you should wait and pay less. But if Xscape only comes so often, then folks wouldn't mind paying 75 for that. Exactly. And that's what Kandi was talking about with the oversaturation of how many shows the girls do. You know what I'm saying? Lily has said those girls don't know SWV race, so please stop running with Goat Throat and Smokey Robinson. Okay. That's fine. That's fine that you feel that way. Okay. I'm not saying that Kandi knows their rate, but there's a reason why she says that, so we can have the conversation about how much we're going to be getting paid. Like, this is basically the conversation. I say, so is everybody mad because Kandi asserted herself in this conversation? Like, we're not supposed to talk about how much money we're supposed to be getting paid? Okay. That's why niggas don't make no money now. Why would they have to lower the amount? I would think that the promoter would have to pay more since there is more than one act. But not necessarily. You have to think that the promoter probably feels like, I would rather pay all of y'all, like, just a number. I'm going to throw out a number right quick. I would rather pay all of y'all less, period. So I don't think the promoter is going to be like, yeah, I want to pay y'all more. They're going to try to get Xscape to take less so that they can pay SWV a little bit more and equal it out if Xscape is already asking for more. So I don't understand why this is hard. Like, I'm not about to keep going back and forth with y'all about this. That's what Kandi said. At the end of the day, that's them people business if that's what they want to do. If y'all want to see SWV and Xscape perform together again, go watch Versus online. But I'm not about to argue with y'all about this because I don't care that much. And I also feel like you're not going to convince me that any of y'all really know what y'all are talking about in comparison to Kandi. And then also you're not going to convince me that y'all would take less money in a situation if you knew the business the way they know the business. That's all. But yes. I'm not just being on her side for the sake of it. At the end of the day, the money is what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Didn't SWV open for Xscape? Yes, they did. There were a few shows that they did where Xscape was the headliner and SWV was the opening act. Okay? But it's not opening act like, we don't know them. It's opening act like this is just a set. And the set normally goes by who is filling the most seats. That's just what it is, y'all. Like, it's just really not that deep, y'all. I don't care like that. I'm just telling y'all what Kandi said. And I also feel like when it comes to business, I don't know her business like that. I don't know the music business like that. So I'm not, yeah. Kandi needs to humble herself. Why does she need to humble herself? Why? So for who? Whose benefit for like cuz y'all just say things sometimes that I think y'all feel like sounds good, but essentially you just want somebody to lower themselves to make you feel comfortable. And people don't have to do that if they don't want to. If it's Xscape's tour, then yes, they can headline and get paid more. However, if they're going to do a joint tour, pay each the same, bring up SW's fee to Xscape's fee. Yes, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. But I feel like everybody's upset, and all Kandi said was based on what we know. I want to make sure that we are getting paid the amount that we're already getting paid. Okay? But yeah, that's what happened on the show, y'all. I want all the coins I can get. And a lot of people feel like that. And Kandi is one of those people. And we know that. Very shrewd businesswoman. And this is when I understand to be in business, you really have to be like, fuck people's feelings. Like in business, when it's about getting what you feel like you deserve, you have to be like, fuck people's feelings. And I know that sounds messed up to y'all, but that's life. No, nobody wants SWV to humble themselves. No, nobody's saying that. I said I feel like they should be getting paid more than. They need to figure out a way to make it make sense for everybody. But are the promoters going to do that? You know what I'm saying? There's a whole other party involved in this. The promoters. Okay? Why shouldn't she have discussed it on the internet if it was on the television show? She worded it wrong. Okay. I really believe people don't get this far without learning something, and that's why Kandi feels the way she feels about the Tasha situation. She's been through this before. She's not going back. Right. This scene show how this business really works. Right. That would be nice, but she doesn't have to do that. If her fee been her fee, it's business. And that's where I'm at with it, because I feel like my fee is my fee. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I think I did, Adrian. I think I did. My bad. But I really wish that they could have come to and I feel like this was them having the conversation and it just didn't go well, because normally this is a conversation that happens between managers and not between the artists. You know what I'm saying? So personally, I feel like it's just a messed up situation. I can't necessarily be that angry at Kandi because, again, this is a business situation and she knows better than me about business, especially the music business. But I also feel like I would have loved to seen them do a joint performance and it work out financially for everybody involved. Okay, that's what I would like. I'm not asking SWV to humble themselves. And we're not talking about who are the better vocal people. We're not talking about who has the better songs. We're talking about who sells the most tickets in the market that they're in. And that's what I want everybody to like think about. Y'all are only thinking about how y'all feel as the people that listen to the music. You're not thinking about the people that are going to go and buy tickets to see certain people in certain places. And the people that actually have those numbers are the artists and the promoters and the management and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, like, I don't know what y'all want me to do, girl. Y'all want me to be mad, and I just kind of feel like I'm not about to be mad about this situation. It's really not that deep. Like, it's really not that deep. K sisters, thank you for the super chat. Tamar needs to stop with the Kandi can't sing, because people used to say the same thing about Tony, and if it wasn't for Tony, we wouldn't know Tamar. Ooh, thank you, KK, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, let me see. There's another one, and then we're going to get into all of this mess online. We're going to get into this Tamar and Kandi situation, the back and forth. Make sure y'all like the video. 820 likes, 1,500 people in here. Can we get the likes up? Can we get the likes up, please? I'm trying to find your super chat, Adrian. Cause I feel like I can't. Okay, hold on. I think I just passed it. The chat was moving so quickly. Okay. Only one Adrian, thank you for the super chat. Do it, Bondi. I just got into Columbia University getting a master's in urban planning from School of Architecture. All right, I love it. Classes start the day after my 40th birthday. Sometimes you gotta pivot. I love it. I'm so here for it. Come on. Listen, I love the people that aren't afraid to like go back, learn something new, and pivot. You gotta keep living, man. This life is collecting coins out this bitch, and then coins are experiences. Collecting coins, man. Okay. Um, let's see. They selling tickets because of the opening acts. I doubt they would sell out venues on their own. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I feel like they said they sold out the tour that they had by themselves. They had like a 30 city tour back when they first got together, and they sold out all of the arenas in those tours, and those were like 30,000 seaters, I believe. And that's just something that they've said before, so I feel like they kind of have sold out shows by themselves. I don't know. Okay, child, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a real fan of both of these groups, so I really don't care about all of this back and forth that y'all want to go through with this one is better and this one and child, don't nobody care. At the end of the day, them people gonna do what they want to do with their business. I don't really care. I wish they would have been able to bring it together and do the tour, but it is what it is, girl. Like, I'm gonna see SWV, I'm sure, because they do shows. So, and I've seen them before live too. I feel like I've never seen Xscape live before, but I think I absolutely did see SWV. Tiana, thank you for the super chat. SWV's market might be a bit saturated because they do 50 to 60 shows a year, and Xscape doesn't do many shows, which is why promoters pay them a lot more. Thank you, Tiana. I thought that we had explained that, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like they're not hearing us. I feel like we were trying to explain the business and the logistics of why Kandi said what she said, but it seems as if people just want to, they want to be mad. They want to be mad. Like, it's a whole bunch of, oh, yeah, Kandi can't sing. Yeah, I think that's funny. Keep singing her songs when you're saying that she can't sing. Y'all are so weird. Everybody just popping in, going to watch it, please. All right, thank you. I appreciate you, love. Thank you, niece. What is it? Niecey Badass. Thank you, love. I appreciate it. For me, I am an Erykah Badu, Jill Scott girl. Me too. Like, that's my girls. That you know what I'm saying? Even though I love the R&B groups. SWV actually does better overseas. I'm sure they do. Because I remember Kandi saying that, child, we talking about domestically, okay? Shout out to Schoolboy for posting Lily's tweet for me to save. SWV will never ask anyone to take a pay cut. This collaboration was never about SWV or Xscape. It was about us. But when us turns into we and then me, then you get a circus on the internet. It ain't never about a coin. We get ours, they get theirs, everybody eats. Which is why I feel like on some level, a lot of the arguments that are happening are, like I said at the beginning, it's something for us to chew on because we need conflict on a reality show. Y'all want to go back and forth in the comments about SWV and Xscape's business, when at the end of the day, what else are they gonna argue about on this show if they don't argue about this? Okay. So I kind of personally feel like it's a scheme that Todd has set up for us to actually be talking about their show, because we would only be talking about Xscape drama if it wasn't for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the Tamar situation. So first of all, I'm gonna play for y'all the clip. Hold up. That started, well, not that started this. Well, no, I think I saved that one too. Because this Tamar shit is getting out of hand, and I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, I'm not on Tamar's side on this. I'm sorry. So if you're gonna be upset at me because I am not about to act as if Tamar said shit that actually meant somebody was attacking her, like There was nothing that she said that sounded like Todd attacked her. So I just kind of feel like, girl, what? Girl, what? Like, what are we talking about? Make it make sense, because I don't see where the threat came in. But Tamar went on Watch What Happens Live this past Sunday and doubled down on her comments that she was attacked. Or, you know, yes, she said a Bravo couple tried to fight her. That's what she said. And I feel like we've seen Todd and Kandi in conflict many times on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And not once have we ever seen Todd step to some woman in a disrespectful manner. Like, he may have something to say, but he's never been like the type to be aggressive or physically imposing in a back and forth with any woman. And there have been many times where people have came at Todd's neck ridiculously on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I have never, ever seen Todd get like hyper angry. I've never seen him jump out of character, anything like that. So the idea that Todd would attack Tamar sounds like bullshit from the jump to me, especially when I know how Tamar likes to over exaggerate situations. I'm sorry. Okay. And we're going to talk about JR, because at the end of the day, JR, he might be Caucasian, but he's from New Orleans. Okay. And it's a different type of thing that happens down here. So that whole conversation about, oh, it must have been so hard for him to go up to Todd. No, it's not really, because he's from New Orleans. And it don't, like, there's a certain brand of white boy from New Orleans that it really don't matter. It really don't matter that he white. Like, he's had to fight. He's been ribbed. It's not a thing. Also, JR was in the Marines, so I don't think there was any reason, you know, all this bullshit y'all talking about, okay? Do I feel like he went and had a conversation with Todd based off the bullshit that Tamar told him? Yes. Okay? But to start it all off, and I wish I still, because I was trying to find that clip. I think it was House of Aaron. Shout out to House of Aaron, who interviewed Kandi when she did all of her interviews on YouTube. She did an interview with my panel, Ooh Ladies First panel. Shout out to Jamie and Niecy. Okay, she did an interview with our panel and a lot of other YouTubers. And during that interview with House of Aaron, she discussed emotionally how Carlos King stole their life story, basically, and was going to make a movie out of it, and had even interviewed Miss Joyce, Kandi's mom, for the movie, and was like interviewing her and telling her it was for something else. And so Kandi was very emotional and pissed off about this because she had a relationship with him. And it's like, how could you do that and not tell us about it? Like, as if you were trying to take our story and then keep us out of it, right? That's what Kandi said. Carlos, who at the time was starting to be very vocal, on social media, did not say anything in response. Okay? He might post some subliminal church, message on Sundays or some shit like that. No weapon formed against me shall prosper type shit. But for the most part, I don't believe he ever commented back. But then here came Tamar on Dish Network.
Honey, Miss Kandi Burris stands, honey, former executive producer of Real House Carl Davis. Oh my God, honey. Now it seems, honey, that the streets were talking being cool.
He's the one who stole my group's life story and sold it to TV1. When you're a public figure, they can do unauthorized stories about you. Never once, all them years we have been around each other, he had never once told me that he was trying to do a movie about us. And to be able and to go behind my back, I was like, I can't with him ever again.
Messy boo. But I just find it odd that you can steal the rights of the lives of people that are still alive. We saw it recently with the Mike Tyson joint on Hulu, which is great, by the way. I hate that he doesn't support it, but you got to do things right when these people are alive. You telling their story.
Which is why I don't agree with her calling him a thief. You know what I mean? I think that's a little off the deep end.
What would you do if somebody tried to do this to you and your sisters? They tried to tell your story without your permission.
Okay, so here was the thing. So my sister did a biopic, right?
Okay.
And I feel like everybody else was involved, but I had nothing to do with my character, and I was in my feelings about that.
Okay.
But everybody else was involved, so that's a different kind of thing.
So to be clear, you're saying you don't believe what Kandi is saying, even though you're saying when your sister did a biopic, it was her biopic, but you was mad because ain't nobody asked about your character in her biopic, but you can't seem to understand Kandi being upset about not being included in her own group's biopic.
So you really don't want nobody telling your own story.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, I just feel like there are all the time unauthorized, like, you know, versions of people's lives. And this is just a part of being an entertainer.
Yeah. It is a little...
Yes, it is. It is. Very much so. But you just said you still felt a way, and that wasn't even the same situation as you admitted. So if you felt the way, why can she not say somebody that was actually cool with her that she personally knew? Like, you interviewed my mama and you ain't even tell me about that shit? And what you was gonna go and make a movie about my group and you wasn't gonna say nothing about it? Like, we don't know each other? If y'all feel like Kandi is not entitled to feel a way, that's on y'all. But I feel like she's entitled to feel a way about that situation.
Shady to call her mom up and act like you're going to do an interview about all these groups in the 90s and just to try to dig up information on her group. Like, that is a little... You got to watch out for reality TV producers.
Yeah, that's shady baby. But something in the milk ain't clean. I don't know. I'm not totally convinced that that's what it is. I don't know. I want to hear from Carlos because I want to know the king.
And and you will get it to you because I think y'all good Judies too, if I'm not mistaken, huh? I mean, y'all was on the show Kikiing.
I just recently met Carlos. I'm just like me and you, Kiki.
Yeah.
I Kiki with the Kikis.
That's like she's a Kiki, baby.
Okay, so if you put this in the timeline of Kandi and Tamar having back and forth. They've had back and forth. They made up after Celebrity Big Brother, even though we saw Tamar doing the most on that show. They still found a way to make up. This comes out, okay? So apparently, this is what pissed Kandi off, right? I felt like this wasn't that bad, but I did feel like Tamar was being strategic. I feel like Tamar probably at this point knows that she wants to come back into reality TV, and Carlos has all of these popping shows. So I'm sure just meeting him, she was thinking it would probably be to her benefit to kind of throw him a bone when it came to the way she commentated on that story, with hopes that it would, you know, make a relationship between the two of them work out. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. I feel like that was strategic and that was a business move by Tamar to try to see if she could get in good with Carlos, so maybe he might want to executive produce another show for her. Okay? I'ma just keep it a buck. That's how I feel. A lot of the things that happen, you think people doing it because they like somebody. Really, they doing it because they want to be able to get in good with that person. They want to create a good rapport with that person, okay? So Tamar said that, and then later got on Instagram and said in her stories, I got a story. Hold on, wait. No, not this one. This is when she was talking about them attacking her or whatever during Christmas. But I believe she said some other stuff about the Carlos situation on social media. That wasn't the only thing she said. She said some other stuff on social media too to double down on her comments about Carlos, if I'm correct. Okay? But either way, this is a moment that Tamar could have stayed out of the situation. Okay? She really could have. Tamar then later on, around Christmas time, puts it out that she was attacked by a Bravo couple, okay? And she said in her stories, I got a story to tell. Y'all want to hear about it? I was threatened by a peach and a man. I feel like if I did what they did, they would have told the world. But because they don't want y'all to know how fucked up they are as people and city officials, they ain't saying shit. Girl, who's the city official? It's beef, and it's real beef because your husband stepped to me, period. Now, I feel like if Todd did any stepping towards her, if he said anything to her, I feel like it wasn't on the level that she's trying to make it seem. She said Kandi was lying. She said something ain't right in the milk. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Something ain't right in the milk. The nigga tried to shop my story like he ain't know me or something like that. Like, that's weird, okay? And she let that die down. That was Christmas. And then she gets on Watch What Happens Live last night and basically says that it was Todd and Kandi when she decided to take this long ass sip of her drink when asked about it again. Okay? And so then that turns into this whole thing. And Tamar gets online and goes on a tirade. Okay? And I would just like to say that I don't like the way she is. I don't like the way she's narrating the story, because I feel like, you know, you're trying to act like Kandi be doing the most in her movements and all of that. But what we've known of Kandi is if she does get rowdy, she wasn't the first one to get rowdy. Like, every time we see Kandi get rowdy, it's always like something that started that situation. And I really would like to know what happened. Okay? Because I don't know what happened. But what I do know is that Tamar likes to over exaggerate situations. And she's messy as fuck. So I'm just gonna, you know, with that being said, we're gonna play the audio. Thank you, Just for the super chat. Once Tamar alleged yesterday that Todd might be putting his hands on Kandi, I was done with Tamar's side. That's a big reach, in my opinion. Not only is it a big reach, but is you continuing to use the things that social media does against somebody. And then you're going to complain about social media doing it to you later on. But you're trying to malign him. And you did that when you said that he stepped to you. First he stepped to you. Now he trying to fight you. Like, and now, oh, if you think it's okay, then he must be beating your ass. Like, you doing a lot. You doing a lot. And Kandi hasn't even really responded. The only thing she said was that it's not true. And we'll play that clip as well. But here we go.
From a YouTube that Kandi put out about whatever the issues they had with Carlos King. And I was asked about it. Now, I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not like these other reality people. Like, I'm a real bona fide 5-time Emmy-nominated journalist.
No, you're not. You may be Emmy-nominated, but you're not a journalist. As someone that is a retired journalist, you're not a journalist. But that's really cute. That was really cute. That's really cute that you thought that.
Difference. So for me, I am not comfortable publicly saying or calling someone else a liar without knowing the legitimate facts. That's where I'm standing with that. I wasn't on no, you're not my friend, I don't want to side with you. It wasn't nothing to being messy, but my responsibility for my job and my integrity just lied in that. Or else I just would have said, oh, she lied. Really what I did say is I wanted to hear both sides of the story. Something in the milk ain't clean. Just trying to deflect from just outright calling somebody a liar. Because number one, I don't know. Number two, I don't care. Number three, has nothing to do with me. Okay? Cool. That happened. I put up a clip promoting the show from my point of view in my story. Not addressing anybody, not taking sides on nothing, because I really don't care, because it doesn't have anything else to do with me. Okay? So, weeks go by, 4 or 5 weeks go by, and we all have a concert together. And I'm leaving my dressing room to go to my dancer's dressing room to bring them their new clothes, and I see Kandi in the hallway. And I'm like, hey, boo, and I give her a hug, whatever, and she just look at me and she's like, I ain't fucking with you. And I'm like, what? I'm thinking she's kidding. Like, I'm for real thinking she's kidding. And she's like, I ain't fucking with you. I'm like, what happened? She like, oh, well, you said that shit you said about Carlos King was foul. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I honestly, truly forgot about it. Right? And I'm like, listen, I didn't mean no harm. I wasn't trying to, go against you or nothing like that. It's, what I just explained to y'all. Like, I just feel like my responsibility is a little bit different. I ain't trying to call nobody publicly a liar when I don't know the whole story. I'm not comfortable with it. And she was like, nah. You said. And I'm like, sis, listen, if I offended you, I am so sorry. Like, I was.
First of all, when have we ever known, like, I just feel like it's funny that you can be offended all the time by shit, but as soon as Kandi is like, nah, don't come hug me, I don't fuck with you. After you said that shit online, you called me a liar about the Xscape shit. I was on that interview crying, and you called me a liar. I don't fuck with you. Get away from me. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to feel like Kandi's wrong for that? We can do a tour together and I don't fuck with you, don't come hug me. I don't understand. What's wrong? Natalie, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Bonnie, just a little something for the great entertainment you provide. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy it. Kanika, is it Kanika? Girl, Morgan. Don't make me say it wrong. Okay, thank you for the super chat. A journalist, talking about she's from B-More. She gets down. Tracy was going to dog walk you. Tamar is a common denominator in mess. She is. She very much is. R.I.P. to Tracy.
Wasn't coming from that. I thought, man, you made up a big brother. You know, I wasn't coming for you. It's nothing like that. I really, truly, humbly apologize. And plus, I sent her a DM, and I sent you a DM, you know, when your fans was coming to my page. This was a while ago, and I was just trying to let you know that, you know, I wasn't trying to be, you know, malicious or nothing like that. Nah. But you said, and you did, and then you doubled down and put it in your story.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go there with you. You know, we in the middle of this hallway.
So what?
And now by this time, people swarming around. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we ladies, we shouldn't be doing this. We can go in my dressing room. Yeah, before I take it to the next level. Now, everybody.
So you said, let's go to your dressing room. And she said, yeah. She said, yeah, let's go to your dressing room. So she wanted to continue to talk.
No,
Okay.
I ain't really here for that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool and I'm safe. But I do know how to whip ass. And I don't do that because I don't condone violence at all, right? And I'm like, well, what's the name of the level you want to take it to? Like, what you want to fight? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. You said it.
She's not saying anything. I don't know if y'all are listening, but she keep repeating herself over and over again because she doesn't want to tell you what she was saying or the whole conversation. Like, I feel like she's throwing out pieces of the conversation, but all I hear you saying is that you trying to come to Kandi and tell her not to feel a way, but she feels a way based on the shit you was talking on social media. So don't get on social media and pump fake and then come to me in my face and try to be cool because I ain't fucking with you. That's what it sounds like to me. Now, I'm trying to understand, if somebody tell you that they not fucking with you, how is it that if they normally a calm person, how do they all of a sudden get to the fighting point? And you mean to tell me, Tamar, you didn't say nothing to agitate this situation? Is that what I'm to believe?
He did steal from us. Right?
What's all of the extra shit for?
And I'm like, she is really serious right now. I'm like,
okay, so I want to stop right here because she's laughing, right? She's laughing. It's funny that she's laughing right now because I saw a whole thread where y'all were going in on that old Big Brother clip because Kandi laughed at Tamar talking about how the girls were backstage making fun of her while she was singing. And Kandi was like, girl, that's not what happened. And she cut her off. And Kandi laughs at some point. And y'all was like, Kandi always dismissing somebody. Kandi always dismissing somebody. She always laughing. So what the fuck is this? And see, that's what I'm saying. Stop making big deals out of shit that everybody do.
all right, like, don't do that. First of all, I'm from Baltimore. We're not going to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm telling her again, it's my fourth time apologizing. I am so sorry if this offended you, right? I wasn't trying to be malicious towards you. And I'm saying this again. This is the whole way. I'm saying this again. Nah. I mean, Buck King. And I'm like, and I get to the point where I'm like, look, dog, this is not Atlanta Housewives. I'm not getting paid to sit up here and argue with you like this. I'm about to go sing everybody on this bill under the table. I can't argue with you.
Okay, so y'all see how she said that? Mind you, I believe she was opening for them on this tour. I believe this was like a Xscape, Monica tour. And then Tamar was one of the opening acts. So you then, like, I'm just paying attention to what she's saying, y'all. She throws out this comment about, oh, I'm about to go sing y'all under the table. So you didn't say anything that would piss somebody off in this argument? Okay.
Right now, like, I couldn't do all that. And then, I am trying to completely de-escalate the situation. It's giving bobs and cackling and cacklings. And, like, then Tadina comes up and, like, he comes and get her. So
Todd comes to get her. And y'all see how she stops right now? Because now she has to figure out how she's going to explain it in a way that supports the narrative that Todd was being aggressive towards her. But Todd is coming to get Kandi, is what she said.
And he said something to her, and then he looks at me in my face. Y'all can believe this shit or not. Nigga look at me in my face and go, you know what it is.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you were talking shit to his wife. He comes to get his wife. You still talking shit. Yeah, come get your husband. Come get your wife. Come get her. You talking shit. And he like, you already know what it is. Meaning that if I let her go, she gonna beat your ass. That's probably what you know what it is meant. It didn't mean I'm going to put my hands on you, Tamar. It means that if I let her go, if I let her come at you, she gonna beat your ass. So you know what it is. Stop with the extra shit. And she probably started to do extra when he came to back Kandi out of the situation. When Todd came to get Kandi, she probably got elevated in some type of way and was saying shit towards him. Okay? Yes, Todd Dina. Yeah, you already, as y'all like to say, emasculating a man. Okay? Calling him a woman's name and all of that shit. But see, if you're a real man, it shouldn't even really matter. Because it doesn't. At the end of the day, I don't believe that Todd was being aggressive towards Tamar. And Tamar didn't even explain that he was being aggressive towards her. All he said was, you gonna look at me, you know what it is. Yeah, you know what it is. If I let her go, she gonna box your ass out. And that's not what any of us want. So let me take her and let's get out of here. Like, that wasn't a threat towards you though. So why you presented it like they tried to fight you when really his wife might have been trying to fight you. And he was trying to keep you from getting your ass beat. You know what it is. Todd shouldn't have said anything. Tony, I feel like that's very cute. You know what I'm saying? That's very cute, but that's not how the world works. When people are in conflict, if somebody is in conflict and all this man said was, you know what it is, and moves his wife out the way, he can say that. You can feel however you want to feel, but that doesn't mean he tried to fight her. That doesn't mean that he came at her. I don't care what you're talking about. You could feel like he shouldn't have said anything, but at the end of the day, she probably addressed him. She probably said something to him, which is why he said what he said, because people often love to come at Kandi through Todd. Thank you, Black Regina George, for the super chat. I don't care what Tamar talking about. Kandi is a tourist just like me. We don't pop off unless we've been provoked. Kandi reacting didn't come from nowhere. And that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. Thank you, Stephanie Ray. She is not from Baltimore. She is from Severn, Maryland, and I believe she has family in Bmore and possibly did junior and senior year of high school here. Child, it don't even matter. Because just because you from the hood don't mean that you going to beat everybody's ass. That's just stupid right there. And you 40-something years old. You shouldn't even want to be fighting anybody. But I have never seen Todd, and Todd has been in some very aggressive situations on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I have never seen Todd get out of character. Y'all, wasn't it just last season that he read Marlo the fuck down very calmly from his seat? Anything he says, I feel like he means, but I do not believe it was a threat towards Tamar. I just don't believe that. I'm sorry. And if you feel like Todd shouldn't have said anything, I feel like that's your prerogative, but you can't tell somebody how to feel when somebody coming at their wife. I'm sorry. Like, he didn't attack her. He didn't call her out of her name. He didn't do anything that I feel like would be considered an actual threat. Telling somebody you know what it is when they going back and forth with your wife, child, please. Please.
What? Now, this is a dude. I don't care. Listen, y'all done see me grow up on the Braxtons. Y'all done see me go at it with my sisters. Y'all done see me, kind of like sporadically go at it with Lonnie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the truth is, in real life, I'm really a peaceful person. You know what I mean? And I like to have fun, and I laugh and play jokes all the time. And so, the thing is with me, is that me and Kandi, or me and another female, can argue all day long. But when it comes to dudes in another woman's face to physically threaten them and harm them, that's when the line is drawn. That's when it's like, oh, it's not about her perception on TV. It's not about,
And this is why you were called a victim all your life. That's why Kandi posted you're a victim all of your life, because you found a way to make yourself a victim in a situation you probably also agitated and were obnoxious in. Okay? But never in what you said did that sound like a threat. But as soon as you finish explaining what actually took place in the way that you explained it, which is with some pieces missing, then you turn around and say that, it don't matter what y'all feel about me. A man is never supposed to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Y'all, I don't like when men get aggressive with women either. But I really, truly, based on what I have seen of Todd and Kandi, believe that Kandi wanted to beat your ass and Todd was holding her back. And you were talking shit and Todd probably simply said, you know what it is. Meaning that stop acting like you want to fight, because if I let her go, you know what it is. She gonna whip your ass. That's probably how he felt. He probably felt you were saying a lot of shit that was agitating him. Y'all always feel like you should be able to say anything to a man's wife and he should have no reply whatsoever. He didn't come at her crazy from what she said, but he did say something. And I know you may feel like he shouldn't say anything, but I don't feel like that's necessary. I don't. If you feel like you can say anything to this man's wife and he turn around and simply tell you, you know what it is, come on, bro. Get out of here with that. I don't think that was a threat from Todd to put hands on her. That was a threat for Kandi to put hands on you. Yeah, I believe that. I do. I believe Kandi wanted to put hands on you. I do. Do I feel like you in some ways agitated her in order to get that response? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Based on what I know about both of y'all, from all of these years of being on reality TV and all of that, y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want to say. But Tamar is an agitator. Tamar loves to agitate people. And then when they respond to her or they say anything to her, she bursts into fucking tears and act like a victim. She does it all the time. She does it all the time. And honestly, I was watching Queen's Court thinking that she had finally turned over a new leaf, and then she decided to use this bullshit with Kandi to revitalize her career over there. Like, to be clear, you're on Peacock. You're on Peacock. Kandi's season of Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to be on Peacock, but it's also going to be on Bravo on Sunday nights. I feel like you're starting beef with her for the social media clout of it. Not to say that you need it, but to say that y'all are on two different levels when it comes to how many people are watching y'all, okay? More people are watching Kandi than Tamar. So Tamar decides to get on Watch What Happens Live and use that moment to argue or fight with Kandi, which is easy for her, so that y'all will pay more attention to Queen's Court and y'all will pay more attention to her song. If y'all don't like Kandi, her starting a fight with Kandi makes y'all feel like, I don't like Kandi either. So now I'm gonna go and support Tamar because she don't like Kandi and I don't like Kandi neither. That's what y'all gonna do. Just like y'all say Kandi can't sing, and then Tamar jumps on the bandwagon and starts to call her a Billy Gold and talk about how she can't sing, which are all reads that everybody has heard before. And you ain't never heard Tamar come out of her mouth and say that somebody couldn't sing. Not like this. The reason why she did it was because she's trying to tap into the people that don't like Kandi so that they will support what she has going on. This is just like when she said that shit on the radio show on Dish Network about Kandi and Carlos. That was for her own benefit. That was for her own benefit. And she thought that Kandi wasn't going to feel away. But Kandi is like, nah, y'all want to act like a bitch is fake, but I'm not. You're not going to talk shit about me and use me for clout on social media and then try to act like we cool in person. That's what I feel like Kandi was feeling in this situation. I think Tamar got her face cracked. I think she got her feelings hurt. She got her ego bruised and decided to get loud or act crazy or whatever. She said something, but she wasn't all apologetic the whole time. I don't believe that at all. And when it comes to what happened, I do believe her perception of what happened with Todd is the reason why she went and told JR, because, she finally got a man that she can call to defend her. So she's going to call him and they're going to have this conversation with him grabbing on Todd's arm and shit. And I think it was so funny how she strategically took this picture at this moment so that she can have evidence to show y'all her man stepping to Todd to punk him, right? And then, hold up. It wasn't even just that. She replies to the I am the victim when your man steps to a woman. Sounds like an abused woman to me. See this was fucked up to me. Okay. But yesterday I wanted Kandi to respond. I even DM'd Kandi and I was like, Kandi, you're not going to say nothing. I'm over here swinging at the air. And Kandi said, I want to so bad, but my people telling me not to say nothing. And you know what? She was absolutely right not to say anything. Because when I wake up this morning, Tamar is still talking shit. So Lily and Akbar V, I don't even feel like Lily was going back and forth with nobody. Lily just basically said, ain't nobody trying to stop nobody money. And Akbar V responded to that, but I don't know. She said, I've been chilling, but y'all about to stop playing with my cousin. And that's just that. We forgot she's the most paid also, Tamar Braxton, Lily Lyons. So that was just her responding to the shit that's been posted on social media, okay? And honestly, I understood how Akbar was feeling because the way y'all be dragging Kandi for no reason, I personally was like, damn, like, because then we got Hollywood Unlocked jumping on and all of this shit. It was just like, y'all just gonna bandwagon jump on top of Kandi and she ain't even said shit to nobody. Like, this is all based off what Tamar is telling y'all and y'all running with it. Like, Todd shouldn't have did this and Todd was wrong. How do you know it even happened that way? Because she posted a picture of JR grabbing Todd's arm and them having a conversation. Who knows what happened in that conversation? But I know Todd is not confrontational. So even if dude came up to him with the rah-rah shit, Todd was always gonna play that shit chill because that's just how he is. He's not like that with with men, and then rowdy with women like some of you bitch ass niggas are. He's not like that. Not in my experience of watching him on the show. And there have been moments. Y'all didn't put Todd in a pressure cooker a whole bunch of times. And he's always remained as respectful as somebody can be in those situations. Tamar says, because somebody, what money got to do with anything? Child, that's what this has to do. Like, that's what we've been talking about. Whatever, child. Anyway. Tamar then responds to this person and says, yeah, because we all got a cute coin. And in my situation, my man has his own without my name or businesses, which is obviously shade towards Todd, which brings me back to my point at the beginning of this video. Is that I don't like when y'all do this shit. And Tamar is simply jumping on the public's ignorant ass toxic bandwagon as the way that they talk about Todd. And really, I feel like y'all, anything that doesn't represent the status quo of a man, being in control of everything and a woman, oh, yes, a master, like anything that doesn't fall into that status quo for y'all fight against. Whenever a woman seems to have autonomy and power in her relationship dynamic, that upsets a lot of y'all. It always does. Anytime y'all see a woman that makes more money than a man or a woman that is more accomplished than her man, even if her man is accomplished, y'all will find a way to malign that man or make that man seem like he's less than. It is the weirdest shit that I've ever seen. And I really feel like it comes from a whole bunch of male identified women who are thirsty for the ignorant ass men that are too insecure to be able to accept these types of relationships. Because they always feel like they have to be the only one in the relationship with power. So anytime there's a dynamic that looks good, that doesn't fit into that, y'all get mad and y'all act a fucking fool. And that's what y'all always do to Todd. Tamar is not even coming to y'all with no new shit. She recycling bullshit. She picking up comments that she's seen on social media over and over again. And it's all so y'all can pay attention to her little show and in her new song. That's it. That's all. But again, why do y'all do this? Todd had things before Kandi, y'all. He worked in production. He had a really good career. He made good money. He owned a home. Like, what was he like? What's the problem here? JR is no different than Todd. JR is a lawyer. Todd is in television production. What's the difference, Tamar? Because to me, if you're not making more than the lawyer, then you're not that good at your job, even though you're an amazing singer. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because of your attitude that people don't want to work with you. You might have a cute coin, but we can all say Kandi has more than a cute coin. Just saying. Anyway, let me read these super chats. Kim, thank you for the super chat. This is why I appreciate your reviews, logical and unbiased. As a Taurus, I know we know don't go off on a bit until tried and people play in our face. Thank you for the super chat, love. And I'm not about all Taurus, but I'm gonna say when it comes to Kandi, like they've been put in situations where people have really come at them sideways, and they always keep their cool for the most part. And I just can't imagine Tamar being some innocent little lamb in this situation and everybody trying to fight. Girl, no, I don't believe it. I'm sorry. Okay, love how you broke that down. You know what it is. Comment. Thank you so much, Tiana. I appreciate that, because people act like they stupid or something, like they ain't never heard somebody. Like, I can imagine the whole moment in my head of them two going back and forth, and Todd trying to push Kandi back and Tamar talking shit, and he like, come on, bro, you already know what it is. Chill out. Like, meaning you are not a fighter. You're not trying to fight. You know Kandi is on one. Chill out. Come on, y'all. DeQuasia, thank you so much for the super chat. I think people come for Kandi because she has such a high IQ on her business, and people don't like that. They will always support your venture as long as you have less knowledge. Ooh, that's a good point. Thank you for the super chat. Listen. And when I asked, because y'all know, y'all gonna say I'm biased and all of that. I know y'all want to believe I'm biased. I know. But I really do try very hard to look at situations from as many sides as I possibly can. And I'm not saying anything that I'm saying because I like Kandi. I'm saying it because it's truly the way I see the situation. And I have talked many times about how I cannot stand the way y'all come at Todd. Simply because he doesn't make as much money as Kandi, and Kandi makes an obscene amount of money for any black woman. Like, for any black woman, Kandi makes a lot of money. And I also know plenty of black women that make more money than their husbands or than the men that they're with, simply because of the fields that they're in. Like, it's not because these people don't work just as hard. It's because the field that they're in only pays this amount. Okay? But yeah, I'm not, also Tamar, like, you real excited about JR and you got with him off a dating show, my girl. Like, calm down. Calm down. And listen, we were all rooting for you. I'm watching Queen's Court, so we're rooting for you, bitch. But you're doing too much. And I also think it's very funny that Carlos has been very quiet. You bucking real hard. Like, all of this was because of Carlos? Because of Carlos, girl? Because Carlos? I think it's funny how you can make it seem like, Todd ain't shit because they came together and got a bag together. Like, that's a bad thing. Oh, has its own name without me or my businesses. Girl, was that always the case? Like, how would you have felt when we were saying you ain't have shit without Vince? Like, if it wasn't for the fact that Vince was your husband. Like, come on. And not to say that you're not talented, but they got a whole bunch of talented singers out there singing they shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It's just a lot of bullshit to me so that she could be seen, so that y'all could watch the show. I think Tamar feel like she over there taking the L so that y'all could watch her show. That's what Kandi said, girl.
The only thing I'll say right now is, simply that that's not true. My husband never said nothing to her. He did not threaten her or none of that. So that's why I was like, I don't even want to address that on Amazon Live. She and I did have words, but he did. So that's why I was like, yeah. Some people like to twist things a little bit, but we can talk about it later on a different platform or not. Anyway, the only thing I'll say right now is, simply that that's not true. My husband never said nothing to her. He did.
Okay. So, And Tamar goes on and on. I was just answering a question. Girl, I don't care. At the end of the day, you really got out there and made it seem like that man tried to attack you. And he did not. I don't believe he did. If anybody was trying to attack you, I believe it was Kandi. And I believe it was because you said something in order for the situation to get to that place. And that's where I'm at on it. Okay? All right. And that's all I got. That's all I got. A Carlos King production for sure. That's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. Tamar didn't want us talking about that man baby mamas. Oh yeah, because his baby mama, I read his baby mama came out and said, girl, don't act like you grateful for me and my kids because you act like you don't even like us. That's what the baby mama said. JR baby mama, one of the baby mamas came out and said, girl, you don't like us. Don't act like you fuck with us because we don't fuck with you. Okay, you have made him miss all kind of things. Here you go, y'all. Let me read it to y'all right quick before I get out of here. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Okay, it's 1,700 of y'all, 1,000 likes. Come on, I think we can get 1,500 likes if they got 1,700 people in here. Oh my God, it's so many of you guys. Hi. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm trying to get to 100K. Okay, I'm trying to get to 100K. So make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Okay, I put out content every week. All right. So Tamar posted this. It's my birthday, but I have to post the one who puts this cheesy smile on my face. It took me a while to realize that this wholesome, traditional love is the kind that I wanted and needed. We have 6 children between the two of us, and they mean everything to me. Girl, you have 1 kid and he has 5. We don't have like 6 children between the two of us like she got 3 or something. Girl, stop. So miss me with he has 4 baby mamas. Thank God for them because, you know, somebody's watching the kids when he isn't. We are blessed and drama free. Thank God for my best friend, life partner, and fiance, Rare Breed Nola. The happiest birthday to me ever. Okay? And I'm happy for you, girl. I am happy that Tamar's got a man at home. I'm happy for you, girl. I am. But what we not about to do is use this man that you just got 5 minutes ago to try to discount the relationship that Kandi and Todd have been in for like how many years now? Kandi and Todd been together well over a decade. Your relationship doesn't even have enough time in it for you to be comparing it to them people's 10 plus year marriage. Like, that's real disrespectful. Anyway, Paige Booker, thank you so much for the super chat. Tamar should be mad at whoever dropped the end of her new show on the day it premiered. Being mad at Kandi is a big reach. I do feel like they shouldn't have dropped all of those episodes at once. Like, thank you for the super chat, love. They definitely shouldn't have. I don't like the fact that as soon as the show came out, we already knew that they was engaged to these men. It was like, why would y'all do that? Y'all could have at least did 5 and then 5 or 5 and 3. Y'all could have split it up for us, you know, so we could have had some like, you know, what's gonna happen? No, we knew before we even started watching the shit who they was gonna end up with, which killed a lot of the allure to the show. You know what I'm saying? It's still a good show. I've been watching it and it's still a really good show. I like it. But it definitely makes me look at Tamar on the show now like, bitch, here you go with your fake I've been healed shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Okay, so this is what the baby mama said in response to Tamar's birthday post. I have sat in silence for over a year, respecting everyone's privacy while they disrespected mine. I've sat in silence while this person has come into my son's life and caused nothing but chaos and unnecessary drama. I saw chaos as a word describing Tamar all up and through the comments for a while now. I just want to say that. Okay. While I will not speak on my son's other siblings and what type of relationship their father or this woman has with them, let me be clear for all who know me and all who know them. This woman is in no way a bonus or stepmom to my son. My son does not mean everything to her, and she has not thanked God for me and truthfully none of his baby mamas. She has said demeaning, disrespectful, and outrageous things about how I have chosen to co-parent transparent with my son's father and the efforts I have made to keep him involved. She has made no effort to meet me, get to know me as a woman or mother, and has caused my son's father to miss visitation weekends and birthdays. Miss the baby's birthday. I'm fine with people sharing their version of the story that they've created for themselves on social media plus television, but what we will not continue to do is involve the son that I raised in someone else's shenanigans. Shout out to Jocelyn Hernandez. Okay? So that's the mess that's going on over there with Tamar while she over here trying to drudge up mess with Kandi like Kandi need help. And yeah, your boy.
I love Kandi in Xscape. I loved her on the show when she had a storyline that made sense. When Phaedra was there, they had all the sex gay where he said they were in the dungeon or allegedly, out doing threesomes and stuff. She had an interesting storyline. Since we've been critical about her not having a storyline and being a boring housewife and need to be replaced, she's been a mean girl in these streets. She just recently was rude to one of my staff at the Grammys. And I have a feeling, after talking to lots of people in her peer group, that Kandi is a bully. I think that Kandi's a bully.
Really?
Okay, so you just basically said that because y'all are saying she doesn't have a storyline on the show, that she's still on. Now she's a mean girl because of that? That's such bullshit, Jason. You just wanted to take this moment to pile on top of her because everybody was talking about her. It's a double hitter for you. You get to get people talking about you on the Breakfast Club. Okay, your clip goes viral. Good for you. Brings more people to Hollywood Unlocked. Makes you out to be a victim. Kandi commented on that and said she was not rude to them. But when she found out who they were working with, her people was like, no, that's Hollywood Unlocked, and we don't fuck with Jason. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't interview with you. She wasn't rude. She just said she couldn't interview with him. What I think is people like to use Kandi, you know what I'm saying, in all of these different ways and shit. Like, people like to use her. And because she's been used by a lot of people, and I think Kandi's a giving person, I don't care what nobody talking about. Like, she give people jobs. Like, Tamar, like, you're on their tour. like, yeah, but come on, girl. She put you on, like, didn't Kandi put her on the dungeon tour at one point? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen repeatedly, like, Kandi go out of her way to help people, and then those people kind of, like, slap her in the face in one way or another. And I feel like she probably responds to people now based on how many times y'all have screwed that lady over when she was just trying to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, her not wanting to interview with you because you didn't talk Cash Money shit about her or because she don't like you doesn't mean she was rude or she's a mean girl out in these streets. As somebody that interacts with Kandi, I don't feel like Kandi is a mean girl, but I also feel like it's easy for people to think that when you're not allowing them to use you. When you know what no means, when people don't have access to you, when they can't use you for their benefit, then all of a sudden you're a fucking mean girl. Like, child, I guess if that's what you want, call it, baby. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I feel like I don't know how somebody's supposed to be mad about not having a storyline when they still on the show. Oh, y'all letting me, I mean, she was still working harder for her check than Giselle and Robin was. Kandi was still working harder for that check than some of the people over there on Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay? So yeah, I'm gonna go. It's been a really good live. I've really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Make sure you follow me on social media. I'm BondyBlue on everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. Okay? So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and zip out and see y'all in the next one. Oh, and go check out Scotty by Nature. Scotty by Nature went in today on Jason Lee. Because I know y'all want me to go in on how misogynistic and colorist and, just mean boy that Jason Lee is. But I really don't have time or the vocal capability at this moment. Because I want to go eat these leftover crawfish and his turkey neck. So I'm going to just tell y'all to go ahead and go over to Scotty by Nature's channel. Okay? And check out his video that he did today talking about, I think it was today. Is it today or yesterday? I think it was today. About Jason and his comments. Okay? But I love you guys, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.